Well, as we get ready for another Central Florida tradition for us, the Florida Kids and Family Expo, we're so excited to be a part of it. We'd love to hear what your name is and how many years you've been doing this and how it even got started.
Sure. So this is a long one. My name is Brandi, and I produce the Florida Kids and Family Expo. There are two moms that started this back in technically 2014, but our first expo was 2015. So this is officially our 10th annual Florida Kids and Family Expo. We took a year off due to COVID, obviously. But one morning, I was just looking for something new to do. I had a full-time job. I had been doing it for a while. And I was looking for something more exciting. I used to work in the world of weddings, so it was brides and grooms and weddings every weekend. And I thought as I was getting older, I had children of my own. My youngest was 5 years old and my oldest was in middle school. And I thought, maybe I need to move on from weddings and move into the realm of families. So I woke up one morning and I just went, are there any kids events or family events where, because I used to plan bridal shows. Mm-hmm. So, brides and grooms would come out and meet vendors for their weddings. And I did those all over the country. And so I thought, what if just, coming right here into Central Florida, creating a bridal show, but for families, mm-hmm. where they could come out and find vendors and experiences and schools and entertainment and sports and finance and health and home services, and really just spend the day perusing what was possible here in Central Florida to make their jobs easier. And so waking up that morning, I started thinking about it, went and did a search online, couldn't really find any events like that here in Central Florida. Found them in San Diego and Chicago and New York, but couldn't find them here. So I went to work right away. I called a friend of mine who did websites. She says, well, we can pair this with a daily calendar, one that I did just up in DC. So we started mycentralfloridafamily.com, which has a 24-hour, 7-day a week, 365 days a year calendar. So you can go on and see hour by hour what's happening in Central Florida for kids and families to do. So we started that, and then the expo ran about a full year after we started My Central Florida Family. So we spent an entire year planning it, which we do every year. We start in September. The event is always in August, with the exception of 2021 because of COVID, and which we did in November. But it's an annual event where we bring together over 200 exhibitors. We invite everyone. There's no table left unturned for finding mm-hmm. people who are serving families here in Central Florida, like Z88 is a great example. So we find schools, like I said, and sports opportunities, little leagues, major sports, the Orlando Magic, the Orlando Valkyries. We've had the Solar Bears. We've had Orlando City Soccer there. Mm-hmm. So we try to find everything in every facet as a mom that I wanted to know, because mm-hmm. I've lived here in Central Florida for 50 years, though I am 28. And there were so many things I didn't know. There was a manatee festival that had been around for 38 years, and I had never heard of it. Mm. So this was our opportunity to help moms, working moms and dads that didn't have the time to do the research on their own. So we went to work full-time, quit my job cold turkey, wow. And spent a year just putting it all together mm-hmm. and doing the legwork for families to make it easier for them. So that's the basis of what we do is mycentralfloridafamily.com gives you the resource every single day of the year. The Florida Kids and Family Expo takes all of that and puts it into one building for a weekend where you can come out and talk to people, get your questions answered, get ideas, find out more opportunities for your family here in Central Florida. And of course, there's the fun stuff too. Mm-hmm. So, it wasn't just about planning the expo so that you could meet vendors, but it was about a weekend of fun for the kids. So we have things like bounce houses, we have petting zoo, we have pony rides, we have camel rides, we have wrestling ring, we have aerial acts, we have touch-a-truck, we have 4 stages with the wrestling ring and the aerial acts. We have 2 additional stages of performances. So vocalists, and Gatorland gets up and shares alligators, and Pirates Dinner Theater is bringing a pirate show, and we have a violinist and puppet shows. So there is entertainment included with your admission that you'll have a full day of family fun, if not the full weekend, for less than the cost of going to the movies, which is also our goal, is to keep those prices low while giving you some AC in August mm-hmm. where you can go inside and have some family fun.
Parenting can be so isolating, and I just love the fact that families can show up and know that they're in a room with other people trying to just do the same thing, trying to be able to raise their kids and get encouragement. Have you heard stories over the years of families that have shown up and how this event has really encouraged them?
It's a great question, because last weekend we were at a back to school show, and a parent came up to me, a mom, and she said, she first questioned, and she says, "Do you two work for this expo, or how are you affiliated?" And I said, "Oh no, we own it, we do it." I said, "It's just the two of us," which I always love that reaction that we get when we tell people it's just two of us that do all of this. They're always amazed. Because it is a lot of work. And she just started going on and on and on about how she has been to the expo multiple times and how it's so much more than just an expo. She's like, it's fun. It's fun for the parents. It's fun for the kids. My kids loved XYZ. We got so many resources. She says, you bring out the best vendors and the best exhibitors. She goes, people that we need to be working with to raise our families in Central Florida. And she goes, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you find them all. And she just went on and on and on. And I told her, I said, I wish I could put a camera on you right now, because it was such a great testimonial. A lot of times we go out and we tell people, Florida Kids and Family Expo, they're not quite sure what it is. They don't, really get a grasp of how extensive it is. I mean, we are officially the largest kids and family expo in the country, and I can say that confidently because we've been to all the others. We've gone to San Diego, we've gone to Chicago. It's no comparison. I mean, we are the largest event because we put a full year into it, and there's so many experiences. One of the things I love most is families on social media that are sharing pictures of, I just got one the other day of 2017 with her daughter in one of the Touch-It trucks, and I'm sitting there doing the math going, okay, that was 8 years. That child is probably 15 now. And so it just brings me such joy to see the memories. I actually have another parent who did a side-by-side picture and put it on social media with her child, and I don't remember the years, but I believe it was one of the first shows, 2015-16, and then again a few years later. And they did it in front of our step repeat. So I know it was exactly at our show. And the age difference. And I just thought it's so rewarding to see these kids growing up with the expo as part of their memories too.
It is a tradition for so many families to go to this every single year, but for a family who is new to parenting or maybe just hasn't heard about the expo before, what do you want for them, coming for the very first time? What is your hope for them? And give us the details about how to get there.
Yeah, for sure. So it first of all breaks my heart when I hear parents say, oh, I've never heard of this before, because we try to pull out all the stops to make sure parents know that this event is happening, because we're doing it for them. But I do understand we get a lot of first-time families coming through to the expo. On our website, we're very extensive in giving parents a step-by-step where to park, how to get there, what to bring with them. I'm an over communicator by nature, so I want to make sure every family comes and doesn't have that, oh, we should have brought, strollers are welcome. We go through all of the things that they can expect. So definitely take a look at the website and get all of that information. But as first-time parents coming to the expo, it is going to be a little overwhelming, but not in a bad way. It's going to be, how are we going to get through all of this in a day? We've expanded the room this year, so we've added 50,000 square feet. So we're really stretching things out, making a lot more space to make things a little more comfortable, because I'm not going to lie, there are some years where it gets very crowded. So we've opened it up, a lot more breathing room and opportunities for families to kind of take their time and go through the paces. We have, like I said, a lot of things going on. We call them our fun zones. A lot of families come and start with those fun zones. So they'll start with the petting zoos, and they let the kids get the wiggles out. I do highly recommend a stroller if you have it, no matter the child's age, if they're younger, because it is a lot of walking. But go around and enjoy all the fun things that there are to do, and then take your time going up and down the aisles. We work strategically to make sure that we put fun things on every aisle. So it's not just you're talking to a vendor after vendor after vendor. You may talk to 3 exhibitors that interest you, and then you come across a toddler playground, or you're walking up and down talking to an exhibitor and another exhibitor and another exhibitor, and boom, there's an opportunity to hold an alligator. So it's not, we try to break up that up and down the aisle just talking to exhibitors. We try to put activities. So make sure you go up and down every single aisle, and find the exhibitors that are interesting to you. We create an exhibitor list ahead of time. You can pick it up at the doors at the expo, and you can peruse through it and see, okay, what exhibitors are most interesting to you. We have their booth numbers. Make sure you stop and talk. Sometimes what I find at some of these events is that you think, oh, that person doesn't have anything for me, or I'm not interested in that. And within 3 minutes of talking to that exhibitor, you're like, oh, I didn't know that you offered that. So even when there's exhibitors that you think maybe it's not a good fit, I encourage people to try to take time to at least stop and talk to as many as possible, because it's unbelievable the things that are here in Central Florida that you don't realize are here. And the second part to your question, I'm so sorry.
Just how do you get tickets?
Oh, tickets. So tickets are on our website. Right now we do in advance 50% off tickets. So they are discounted. And you can go onto our website at mycentralfloridafamily.com, go to the Expo page, and there's an order form right there, or you can click over. We do them all through Eventbrite. So you can look it up on Eventbrite as well and do them in advance. We do encourage that because, of course, they're more expensive at the door. So get your tickets in advance. You on Saturday, I don't know if I can mention this, but you can take your child's printed ticket over to Chick-fil-A next to it's about around the corner from the convention center, and get a free kids meal with your ticket on Saturday. Of course, we can't do it on Sunday, but that is available to you as well.
Well, thank you so much for what you do. Thank you for encouraging Central Florida and so many families. We can't wait to go.
Oh, we're so excited. And thank you to Z88 for being a partner for 10 years. You've been with us since the beginning, and we value your partnership so much. Thank you so much for being a part of it.